in the private sector.
Okay. Now you each have 2 minutes to do a wrap-up, and Mr. Simpkins, you will start.
Oh, okay. Mike mentioned something, the facts in this last paragraph here about the percentage was earmarked for public works if this passes, and the rest would be that untransparent money that would just go up in the air. And as they said, they've held back salaries the last 5-6 years, whatever here. I don't think anybody has really come back from this recession. It's still happening. It's not over with here. And then to basically say to them, we're going to keep giving you more money. Where's the comparison? Where's the reality here? We need a reality check here. Go look at other cities of the same size. Again, I can't repeat this enough times. We need to take a look internally. It's $30 million here. It's not, as my friend quite wisely wrote here, it's not a revenue issue. It's all about the spending issue here. We don't need to bring any more money in. We just need to look at the money we've got and do it. Every business has had to adapt and reinvent itself over the last few years. You've seen everybody do their different business change, different style. My business is going through changes. The city is still doing things that we've been doing for the last, who knows, 30, 40, 50 years. They don't seem to be able to adapt very well here. It takes forever to get things to really move around here. As I said about the lights on First Street, Mario dealt with this thing for months and months and months. Nobody knows how to fix the problem. And this is just a lighting issue. I hate to see with the bigger problems they don't seem to understand here. You say, I'll run the town and we'll cut the budget in half, but I'm not running for office. But I just, as a business owner, it's runaway madness here. Thank you.
Mr. Archimedes, you have 2 minutes.
Well, bankruptcy for a city is a long and arduous process, and I don't think that anybody wants to go down that path, and there's absolutely no reason. Frankly, Benicia wouldn't qualify. We're too well off right now. We have a reserve. But let's look at Vallejo for a second, and let's look at surrounding salaries. And let's see, didn't we recently just lose a police chief to Vallejo? And I can think of a city engineer that went to American Canyon, and I can think of a finance director that left here and went to Concord, and I can think of a public works director that left here and went to Vallejo Flood and Sanitation Control District. The wages, you can argue all you want about salaries and wages, but the reality is living in the Bay Area is expensive. We all know that. Benicia's wages are in the lower third of surrounding municipalities. People aren't overpaid here. And the examples I just gave you, I mean, people leave for a number of reasons. But in every single case, I think that I cited here, they got more money where they went. So Benicia is competitive and able to attract and retain good quality people, but in no way are the salaries here exorbitant or out of line. To think that you can just pull anybody in and do the specialized work that is required to run a city is naive, frankly. There's training, there's responsibilities. Doesn't have direct comparisons to the private sector. It's very labor intensive, and it's labor intensive because of the demands of the community. If you look at a city like Lafayette, again, look at what their expenses are. See if they share a fire, see if they're in a fire district. See if they have a police force or if they use the local sheriff. This is your decision to make, but please, when you do it, compare apples to apples. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Archimedes. I'd like to thank you both for participating this morning, taking the time out of your day to come here with us. And I'd like to thank you, and I hope the audience will join me in a round of applause for our thank you.
There we go. We're going to take a very short break. We, as you said, we moved the agenda around, and we're going to allow Ms. Smith a moment to speak with the Prop 1 candidates, speakers on the water bond pros and cons. So it's a good time if you want to stand up, stretch your legs a little bit. One of the things I think I didn't say at the beginning is that we do have, over on this table, we have much more information about other propositions. Today we're only hearing the state proposition 1, but we have the pros and cons for all the state propositions. We also have the Easy Voter Guide, if you want to look that over. And if you haven't registered to vote, I kind of think this audience probably has, but we even have voter registration forms. If you haven't had a chance, if you've moved or need to update your voter registration information. So those are also over on that table. And Belinda will be back in a moment, and then we'll start with Prop 1.